Break time. When we come back, Chandler and Eddie with their postseason, end of season, all the awards. We'll have some fun with that when we come back.
Run it up, run it back, 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 run it up, run it.
Welcome back to Run It Back. The awards, the official ballots were due yesterday. I think it was 6 Eastern, so it's in. We can argue still, but it's all in. There's nothing you can change. But we thought, why not? I want to hear from you guys. So Chandler and Eddie, do you guys want to start with your MVP? It doesn't sound like you have a lot of differences right off the top.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing third teams. My bad.
Yeah, third team. I mean, we're pretty much the same there, except I think you got Fox on.
Yeah,
second.
I think the main guy I left off, and I probably get scrutiny for, is Julius Randle. I think
Yeah, you did.
I went Anthony Davis over him, and I just.
You have LeBron and AD, or just AD?
I got both.
I went just AD, no LeBron.
Okay, let's see the awards right now. We are visual
All right,
learners.
come
We have
on.
to see them with our ojos, or we cannot understand what we're talking about.
God only knows the picks we made.
You just described my life, Michelle.
I know. I just okay. Here we go.
Okay.
So you guys 1,000%.
I mean, this is what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
right? So why disagree?
Wait, Joel Embiid for sure going to happen. We're good with that.
Brooke Lopez, not Defensive Player of the Year. Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, that's arguable.
Seeing a lot of Evan Mobley love too. I think Jaren has it. I think the one that may be in the air is Lauri Markkanen. A lot of people saying Jalen Brunson could win that award.
Ooh.
Or SGA even, right?
And Shai Gilgeous.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, there's a lot. And Sixth Man of the Year is not up there too, but we both had quickly. Emmanuel. Yeah.
Quickly.
Look at the Knicks getting
Really
love.
weird award.
Not
this
Bobby Portis. 14 and 10.
Shams, not him.
And you know what's
I like
crazy?
it.
I know that the MVP has been like the big talk.
Right.
I think
Always.
I would go Giannis second now. Like,
Same.
You know what I mean? Like I think he's been the best player on the best team. I think Joel's the MVP. I think he's dominated, leading the NBA in scoring, putting up the numbers he has in the Eastern Conference. I think he's been unbelievable. And I do think the voter fatigue has an issue, even though it shouldn't, right? Like why is
Agreed.
people, it's the MVP of this season. Last year shouldn't matter, 10 years ago shouldn't matter. But I do think Giannis would be second in my voting.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice. Like you said, best record in the league. I think he's 5th in scoring. It's not like he's a slouch on that end. He's like 4th in rebounding. He's Giannis. He's incredible. I just think it's Joel Embiid's time. You lead the league in scoring. You're that dominant. You're that great defensively. And it's not like his record's bad over there either.
Yeah.
So I think it's become kind of clear. Jokic missed a lot of games down the stretch. Didn't play as great in the ones
But he still played more than the other two guys.
Which is
Yeah, like one more game than Joel or something, right?
So it's like what have you
I think
done
so.
for me lately? Yeah, I got Joel. I think he's
I'm
gonna
sticking to it. I think Jokic towards the end was just like, I don't even want this stupid
Yeah.
award. There's way too much negativity. I mean, he may not even care about the award anyways.
It definitely give up those vibes for sure.
Yes,
You could just tell.
conspiracy.
You could just.
So
Do you guys
as a
do you have
voter,
Jokic? Yeah, who do you got?
you felt that? Like
Yeah, he's an actual voter.
he's got.
I just write my own.
give him
Break
a-
the
He's got too much
news. Break
integrity to
it.
tell us. Come on, they'll leak it.
Not
Sean.
gonna
Tell us,
They'll leak
tell
it.
us. You know what, Shams? We'll get it out of you.
We'll get
It kills me. I'm going to get it out of him before we leave here. Okay, so you guys all agree on that, but then we've got all of the teams, third, second, first. This is where things might get a little spicy. So we'll start with third team because, you got to build it up, obviously.
Yeah.
And here we go.
I mean, I went with Julius Randle over LeBron James here and Anthony Davis over LeBron James. I think they were more consistent. I think they were more important to their team. And I know LeBron, his value, everything he's done. He's had a great year at his age. I just feel like all these guys were a little bit more deserving. And honestly, I had Sabonis on my second team initially, but I think position-wise, I bumped him down to third.
Yeah, Damian Lillard was the name I kind of struggled to remember. He only played 58 games. And again, I went with AD over Julius Randle, which hurts a little bit, and Julius Randle had a great
Is that your
season.
anti-Knicks bias?
It might have been.
Okay,
I'm just really impartial to the difference that Anthony Davis made. And this is a year it felt like more than any other year. It turned into a lot of how many games did this guy play? And you're weighing that against that. And I don't know how much
Just
you're
the
supposed
start.
to take that into
Just
account.
to start. We got 65 game limit.
Next
But
year's
yeah,
different.
pretty soon we won't have to weigh that anymore, right? Some of these guys won't even be eligible.
That'll be weird next year when some of these names aren't on lists because simply they just didn't play the 65 games. That's going to be very different to look at. Second team, as we move things on up, you got a lot of differences here, guys.
See, I bumped Jalen to second team. You had him third team, right? I just
Yeah.
think, that duo, the season the Boston Celtics have had, and I think our biggest difference here is I had Luka first team, he was kind of in the MVP talks. He's in pretty much all season long. They fell off majorly at the end there, which I think did hurt him a little bit. But I still gave him the edge on first team over Donovan Mitchell. But you really can't go wrong. And it's funny, the position. This is why positions is stupid, right? Jokic should be first team All NBA,
Yeah.
but you
Right.
can't have both. And obviously, if we think Joel is the MVP, he's going to be first team.
Yeah, I think for me, I went Kevin over Jaylen Brown first.
Why'd you do
second
that?
to
Yeah,
third
why did
team.
you do that?
Look, Kevin's been great. He's lost 12 games all year long. I know he's been hurt, but I'm just not punishing guys for being hurt. I think he's the least amount of games of anybody on these teams as well. It's going to be interesting to see if he makes any of the teams. He's been incredible. First 55, 40, 90 ever. But yeah, like Sham said, starting next year, he wouldn't qualify to even play on this. I went Donovan first team over Luka, which we'll see here in a second. But he had an
like
incredible
that pick.
season, 28 points a game. Great. They're the 4 seed all year long. And he's a part of the best defense in the league. And I think that matters for his case. And people were wondering just how is he going to do on that end of the court. He's been great. He stepped up.
Well, that leads us to first team. First team honors the big boys. You guys have some differences, obviously, as you've seen these lists. They've been setting themselves up for a bunch of differences here. And all right, Chandler.
Yeah, I went with Luka over Donovan Mitchell just because of the season he's had individually. Again, he was in top 5 in MVP voting for the majority of the season. I do think he's a top 5 player in the NBA, and I think he showed it this year. I just think the end of his season did hurt him, and Donovan Mitchell had a great year in Cleveland. I just think it's interesting, Kawhi Leonard's back, and he's going to make one of these teams. And SGA being an All-NBA is so impressive, and that kid's come so far from when he was in Kentucky to drafted to the Clippers to now he's an actual star in this league. So the fact that he's going to be considered a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA is special.
Yeah, we got 4 of those guys the same. Kawhi, I'm happy you mentioned his name because he's one of the guys who's tough to leave off. And I don't envy guys with these votes. I know we're doing this show. I think it's the best show, best basketball show on TV. Please don't make me eligible to vote for any of these things because this is a lot of scrutiny. And I don't need my name and my votes out there to get scrutinized.
Would you be a guy that would be honest, open about who you voted? I used to have a vote. I would tell you who I voted for. Would you?
I'm pretty transparent.
It comes out anyway. Later on, it comes out anyway.
I know. Don't you want to
Everyone's
get
able
ahead
see
of the
later.
story? Come on.
Not my own story. I like getting ahead of every other story, but not my story.
Fine.